Let's turn our attention to creating high quality videos and some of the best practices around that. So along with everything we mentioned about choosing the right keywords, we always need to keep in mind that the videos we create need to be of high quality. So the content itself, in addition to the keywords, is a primary factor in ranking. So in order to have keywords, we need to have content. And in order to rank, we need to have good content. So let's talk a little bit about creating content and what's involved with that and what we really mean by high quality videos. So if you have a video content that is not informative or relevant to the topic, it won't rank. So that's just common sense. So you need to create content that's aligned with the topic, obviously, and then that way you have keywords that are aligned with the content. So, but if you have content that really isn't aligned with the topic, then you're not going to rank, no matter how much you've optimized that video. So just keep that in mind. So there's a couple of things we want to look at here. So high quality content is determined by really two metrics. So if we're not sure about how good our content is and how good of high quality video we created, we want to look at audience retention and user engagement. So audience retention is simply the percentage length of your video that the audience has watched. It's the percentage your audience has watched. So focusing on audience retention is important for people who want their videos to rank high. So if you want to rank, you need to optimize for the keywords, but got to keep in mind content. So content is related to audience retention and user engagement. So audience retention, percentage length, your video that the audience has watched. And for example, it can be both absolute in minutes or percentages. So audience retention can be the average view duration or percentage of the audience that watched. Then we have user engagement. So user engagement are viewers who are engaged with your content. And so that means they're either sharing it, subscribing, commenting, or liking. So those are all forms of engagement. So the percentage of users who watched or how long they watched versus engagement or in combination with engagement are two factors for ranking. So let's talk about some tips for creating high quality videos. So we want to publish longer videos. And so what do we mean behind longer videos? So what's the reason for longer videos? Let's just suppose we have two videos, one shorter in length and one longer in length. The first video is 15 minutes long. The second video is 7 minutes long. So on average, if viewers watch about 40% of both videos, then video X, which is 15 minutes long, will have more than twice the watch time of the video that's 7 minutes long. So remember, duration. We want, people to watch our videos longer. So if the video is longer in length, if it's 40%, then it's going to have a longer audience engagement, audience retention. So that's one of the reasons, from a metric standpoint. So even when viewers watch, both videos, the time is going to differ. So we want to take into account longer videos for primarily that reason, is because, it gives an end user an opportunity to watch the video longer, and then it's going to help us rank our videos longer. So when we talk about watch time, so if one video has higher watch time than the other, watch time is just the number of views times the average view duration. So another tip is we want to plan our video script. So we want to keep the content organized. My recommendation is, create an outline first. And once you create an outline of how the video is going to flow, then start populating with content. And so to me, that's how you can keep the flow organized, okay, is really with an outline, starting out with an outline. Videos are no different than, say, a presentation. If you've done a PowerPoint presentation, you always want to start out doing an outline. And then we want to upload high resolution videos. High resolution, we don't want to create videos that, are small resolution, like say, 400 by 400 resolution or something, something really small. We want to create something a very high res. So according to Linko, more than 50% of videos on the first page of YouTube are high definition. So high definition videos of higher quality are going to be shown on the first page of YouTube more often than not. So high resolution videos, organizing the content, publishing longer videos are examples of creating high quality videos. We also want to make sure that content is relevant to the title. So if we're talking about machine learning basics, obviously the content is going to be about, intro to machine learning or what is machine learning, and then the title should reflect that content. So aligning the title sets the expectation for the end user. So when they see a title, what is machine learning? Then when they watch the video, they're expecting to learn about machine learning and what it is. So if it meets expectations, then the chances are that person who's watching the video is going to watch it longer. And that means it's going to fulfill the viewer's requirements. And when you align everything accordingly, keywords, titles, content, then at the end of the day, the user is going to watch it. And the more they watch it, the higher the engagement. The higher the engagement, the better chance you have to rank. Some other tips that you could use to create high quality videos. So we want to be able to, use examples to clarify our content. So, don't be afraid to go into another screen like I am. If I'm talking about videos, jump into the machine learning basics video, which I've done throughout this session. I can simply do that by keeping the user engaged. Here, this video is about machine learning basics. Well, the titles align with the video. We made sure that we have a nice description about what the video is about, and we're aligning the expectations. So not only that, I'm showing you an example within the video itself. So we want to use examples throughout your video to keep the user engaged. It will also help clarify what you're trying to express in the video itself. So we want to make it visually appealing. So visually appealing means imagery or examples in the video. And then when we talk about imagery, you want to use good images in your video. So use public domain sites that are available to you, like Shutterstock or Flat Icon. There are plenty of those sites out there. So feel free to use any one of those sites to use high quality images in your video. Give more information to your audience. Giving maximum relevant information can help gain more views. And so when we talk about more information, again, it goes back to, the examples you use. Should be no shortage of examples. Here, description. Use all 5,000 characters at your disposal. Imagery. We want to build up as much information as you can in the video itself to keep the end user, the viewer, engaged. We also want to create original content. So always create original content. You could certainly get ideas from YouTube. If you want to create a video about machine learning, see what else has already been done. Do searches on YouTube itself. But, when you're going to create a video, you can create another video about what is machine learning, but just make sure it has your own take on it. You're the subject matter expert when creating the video. Create it with your own original content. Have high audio quality and video effects. So just like you see here on this video, we have effects in it, and the audio is of high quality, meaning no background noise, no distortion, and we want to be able to speak clearly in the video. So you want to speak clearly, loudly, concise, just as I'm trying to do now, so that you can understand what I'm trying to say, or what the viewer's trying to understand when they're watching the video. So watching and listening are two of the components, and you want to make sure both of them are high quality. Avoid distractions. We don't want to pause. You don't want to ramble on a particular point too long. We want to keep users engaged. So you always want to move from one point to the other, intermix it with examples. Those are ways to keep the users engaged. We want to include transcripts or subtitles for your video. So transcripts is just more content that's aligned with the video, and the search engines will be able to pick up that content and help your video rank. So to me, that's a key component to creating a good video, is having the necessary content that go along with the video. That outline I referenced earlier in terms of organization, you always want to have a content outline. So what topics are you going to cover in the video? That's why you need the outline, to point that out, confirm that before you actually start creating the video. Focus on the initial 15 seconds. So that's key. Somebody's going to click the play button of your video, and if you don't catch them in the first 15 seconds, then they're likely going to pause the video or just go ahead and close it out altogether. So you want to be able to capture somebody's attention right off the bat. And even before they click on that play button, you want to make sure, again, you're exceeding expectations. That title is aligned with the content. So in your first 15 seconds, it basically needs to be catchy, but also setting the expectation of what the user's expecting. So In this example here, we want to pay close attention to the first 15 seconds. That's when viewers are most likely to drop off. So we can look at audience retention in YouTube. So use the options above the graph to view absolute audience retention or relative audience retention. So audience retention is basically how many views a video received and the percentage of the total number of video views. And that includes every moment of the video as a percentage. So we'll show you an example of what that looks like. So here, if we go to the machine learning basics video, we can look at the audience retention report. And this is, since it's been uploaded, the lifetime audience retention. So here we can see a nice graph, the percentage of people who viewed it and how long they viewed it. So in percentage. So here, for example, I can see, 43, 44% watch the video for at least 2 minutes. Here I can see 28.6% watched it for 6 minutes plus. So that's the audience retention. It gives us an idea in terms of percentage, how many people or percentage of people watch the video at what length. So that's audience retention. So we want to keep that number high at the very initial stage of the video. And we want to keep it high throughout. And that's why you always want to create high quality content, using those examples, using imagery, making it organized content, not pausing, going from one point to the other. Those are all best practices to keep the viewer engaged. And then we want to add resources from well-known sites. So throughout this video, we've used Backlinko. There are other sources we've used. So if you have a source, go ahead and put it in your video to add credibility. And then we want to use cards to your video. So this cards is basically a feature that recommends relevant videos to your audience. So in addition to machine learning basics, there could be other videos about machine learning that we can recommend, or YouTube can recommend to the audience. To set up end screens, you want to make sure that with end screens, you can use relevant videos to your audience towards the end of your video. So you can recommend relevant videos towards the end of your video. You can also create playlists. So this is a feature that keeps your audience engaged with relevant content by auto playing the next video. So if you enable this feature, it's going to go from one video to another. Pattern interrupts keep the audience engaged. So basically, it allows your audience to stay within one video without having any interruptions involved. And so going back to the Did You Know, audience retention report helps you analyze how well your videos are engaging to the audience. So what do we mean by that? Well, if I go back again to my audience retention report, how engaging was it? Well, I could see 42%, 43% watched it on average of 3 minutes and 21 seconds. So to me, that's pretty good. Of course, we always want 100% of the video. If the video is 7 minutes long, if almost half of our audience saw over half of the video, then I would say that's pretty good. People were engaged. So audience retention just is a good report to start looking at to help you understand how engaging is my video. And if your video is not engaging, you can always go back and edit it or fix it or tweak it. So remember, the average view duration for all videos and top performing videos listed by all time, we can look at that information as well. In addition, we can look at demographics, so we can get an overview of the age, gender, and location. Okay, we can look at playback locations report, and what the playback locations report does is it helps us determine the platforms where our videos are being streamed from within YouTube. Look at the traffic sources, where did the viewers come from, devices, did they look on mobile or tablet? And so if there's any doubts, if you have any questions, please drop a comment below, but especially if you have any doubts on the metrics. So if we go back into YouTube, we can look at analytics. And if we're looking at analytics, we can see more. And then this is going to show us everything we need to see from device type. So if I click on more, I can see my playback location. So this will show me where the video was watched. It was on a watch page or a channel page. I could see the traffic sources. I could see the gender and age. So if I click on the viewer age report, I can see the percentage of views by age. So I can get a lot of information about my video and how it's performed, who's watched it, what they've done with it, where they come from, all the information they need to know. Okay, so it's all within YouTube Analytics. So again, if you have any questions about that, just drop a comment below. Especially if you're new to YouTube, you may have some questions, but just know that every video you publish to YouTube, high quality, aligned with your keywords, you're going to be able to view the metrics by looking at YouTube Analytics.